Every morning the world starts quietly, one soft light at a time. Homes flicker awake, shops open. People take those first small steps into a brand new day. And in all of that ordinary movement, there's something kind of extraordinary. A moment worth noticing, a spark you feel before you even name it. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's small, but kindness shows up right on time. And every morning we choose to show up with you so we can look for that spark together.
Good morning. I'm Matt Roof, the Uncommon Kindness Guy, and this is Kindness Rising. Let's rise together.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Kindness Rising. I am glad you've chosen to spend some time here with us. Jess, Sully, Keith, Kathy the donkey, they are here in the house saying good morning, and so am I. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You know what nobody celebrates? The middle. The real middle, not the breakthrough, not the launch, not the standing ovation, but the middle, the awkward stretch where you're doing the work and nothing dramatic seems to be happening yet. That's where most of life happens, and musicians understand it because music isn't made of just notes. It's made of the pauses, the breath, the timing, and the space. Good morning, Holroyd. Good to see you. Roseanne, we are full today. The house is rocking with Adam and Roseanne and Kathleen and Sully. Yeah, Jess is out there too. That famous idea about music, the pauses, the breath, the timing, the space. Often discussed, but most connected to Mozart, the silence between the notes. That's where the music exists. My friends who are Dave Matthews fans know that from the song The Space Between, because life isn't only about milestones like we celebrated last week. Sometimes meaning lives right in the waiting room, in that rebuilding season, the uncertain chapter, the ordinary Thursday like today that nobody might applaud, but we are talking about the space between, and that is where we are living. This is Kindness Rising. Good morning in Shivanch 88125. Glad you are here. And of course, Cheryl. What's up? You bringing the Joy Squad with you, Cheryl? I hope so. I appreciate you waking up with joy every single day. Of course, the one day I kind of slum it up. No, I'm not really slumming it up. But I was running around this morning. I didn't have time to change into what I typically wear. This is what I wear when I'm just hanging out. My flannels, whatever. Oh my goodness, Shivanch, great questions. What is my age? What do you think about the world of 50 years? Wow, you're asking a lot of questions, Shivanch. I love that. You're a leader of asking questions, lots and lots of questions. Oh, well, you know what, Shivanch, maybe I'll make some of your questions a future episode. What's the most difficult problem you solved in your life and how? Come back. I talk about it every day, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, here on Kindness Rising. What do I think of the world 50 years later? How did you know I was 50 plus? I don't know. What do I think of the world, or what do I think the world's going to be like in 50 years? Good Lord. Oof. I can only imagine, but I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Shivanch. Thanks for coming and joining. Subscribe to the channel and come in 7:30 a.m. Eastern every weekday morning, right here on Mornings in the Lab Network. We're a whole network of show. We've got Cheryl Raphael Whitaker. It starts with Joy live on Tuesday. We've got, of course, the main show, Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and friends, 10 a.m. or 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern every single day. Tonight's Thursday, our only non-morning show. Jason Hewlett will be with us about 5:30 tonight, I think. And we had our guys Adam House and crew over at House of Bricks and What the Truck. Growing. Check out Mornings in the Lab. We are here for you across the world. I'm coming in from East Coast of the United States in New York State, not the city. All right, let's get on with the show. I gave Shivanch the 411 on what we are all about here. The rest of you guys know what we're doing. Get involved. Here's a little spark for you all. Oh, Siobhan, you missed I did a whole story on Elon Musk and Sam Altman and the trial that happened last week. I think Elon got exposed for what his real mission was. Good try, what I say to him. All right, here we are. The biggest illusions of modern life. Whew. People think growing just looks obvious while it's happening, like a movie montage, the music swells, quick cuts, transformation complete, the Rocky montage, whatever it is. Real life, a lot messier than that. Most people are just quietly figuring things out while moving, building while uncertain, and showing up before their confidence arrives. And honestly, nobody really posts. Well, people are starting to. People like us right here. We're in the messy middle. This is the messy middle for me. I am doing it. I am showing you how it's done, but most people don't. Day 247 and not knowing what the hell I'm doing, still rebuilding, still creating, still trying, whatever those things are. A lot of people don't show them, but we show them right here on the Mornings in the Lab Network because it's part of our mission to inspire people to get up and get after it every morning, just like musicians who know something powerful. Without the rest, without that middle part, without the pause, there's no tension, no release, and no rhythm, and the space between the note matters. Absolutely. And maybe the season we're in where we feel stuck, that waiting season, that quiet season, I'm not where I am, but I know where I'm going season, that isn't empty. Maybe something important really is happening here, where we're becoming. We talked about becoming last week. Absolutely. All right. Welcome in, welcome in. I am glad you are here. I am glad everyone is here learning about the endurance that it takes, the building the root before growth becomes visible, because that's what matters. Thanks for joining me here on Kindness Rising. And just like we do every day, it's taken me a while to get there because I've just been energetic about all the other stuff. I know there are people out there waiting for our who in the world. 3 clues. See if you can guess. Kathy, if you guess this one from the very first clue like you did yesterday, oof, I don't know. That's all right. It's okay. Stick with us. I appreciate it. But for this guy, discipline came before celebrity. He was a former military officer and bodyguard. Who in the world are we talking about today that's celebrating perhaps a birthday, a Gen X celebrity out there celebrating? All right, and let's talk about this. Let's move into one of my favorite parts. One of my favorite parts. You guys know the drop is coming. That's about the pause in between. It is. There it is. Our little spotlight theme. The drop's coming in, and today's kindness spotlight is going to an organization that you can only see half their website of. There they are. The top of their website is SCORE. Because if you've ever tried building something, a business, a creative project, a new chapter, you know the middle can get really uncomfortable. SCORE connects entrepreneurs and small business builders with mentors, guidance, education, and support. I love what they're doing here. Absolutely. Meaningful things rarely arrive fully formed, and sometimes you just need someone who can help you through that uncertain middle. Why is this so hard? Why is this so hard? Well, guess what? This part is hard. Keep going. That's what the conversation is about. Adjust, learn, build. This is the inspiration that comes from the mentors in SCORE. Guidance, education, and support for navigating small business journeys. That is SCORE. We should see scores. All right. Okay, that's it. I wanted to share my little All right. Messy middle. I don't know why I just said messy middle out loud. That was really weird. Little tick. Donkey! Kathleen the donkey's out there. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What is up? All right. Who in the world? Discipline came before celebrity for this former military police officer and bodyguard. We talked about him already. I guess it's time for clue number 2. Time for clue number 2. Is it that time already? No, I missed the spot. Never mind. Oh, wow. I got a little out of rhythm there. That's all right. All right. This is what we have to do. Wait, that happened today? On this day in 1927, 1927, 99 years ago, Charles Lindbergh, his transatlantic flight, his first solo transatlantic flight, landed successfully when Charles Lindbergh landed in Paris. Absolutely, and history remembers the landing. Absolutely. Because that's what we do. We remember he made it. He took off and he made it. But we didn't think about the 33 and a half hours alone in the air, weather, fatigue, darkness, navigation, uncertainty, with a freaking little prop plane going over the ocean. No autopilots, no guarantees. Absolutely. I remember they tell us these stories as kids, and I don't think we have the capacity to really, because we don't have the experience, the capacity to really understand the peril, the courage that it took Lindbergh and Earhart and others who made these kind of amazing progress and adventures. And that's it. That's the metaphor of life. Most growth doesn't happen during the applause. He takes off and people are waiting, and there are some that are hanging on their breath, but then we just wait for him to land. 33 and a half hours is up there. What do you think people were doing? They're just waiting for the news story. Charles Lindbergh has landed the first transatlantic flight. That's my terrible newsreel voice. You can picture the newsreels, right? Anyway, wow. Happens in the long stretch, right? That's what happens. Real life happens in the long stretch between departure and arrival. The part where you don't fully know yet whether this thing's going to work and whether you should keep going anyway. That's the courage. Maybe that's how I feel about right now, right in the messy middle of our episode. 7:44. My impressions are great. Yeah, perfect. Spot on. Kathleen, you're going to be banned from this game. Here's our second clue, because I think maybe Kathleen's. You're not going to be banned. I am, of course, kidding. I want you here. It's a challenge to me now. My challenge is now to make these clues harder. Did anybody else know who this was? Kathleen's already guessed it, but I'm still going to go through the through the motions. His golden style single-handedly affects the precious metal market. Mr. T. Yep, that's the answer, but I'm going to go through the process anyway. Thank you. Anyway, that's our clue. I pity the fool. Exactly. You do pity the fool. I do too. I actually appreciate. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off. See how easily can I get off on a tangent? Kathy guesses it early, and I just start talking about it. What? No. I'm going to keep going with my plan here and continuing the conversation about Charles Lindbergh and his 33 and a half hour flight. right? We talked about the fact that 33 and a half hours, that's a long time to be up there in the air by yourself. Yeah. And there were some that didn't make it, right? But yes. Thank you, Sully. I appreciate your Sully likes my orange tone in my thumbnail. I just saw that. Yeah, it's a choice. It's a choice I made. Uh, I like it too. It's my vibe. I went through some trials on some things, but we're sticking with that orange and brown, chill, nature, fox. I don't know. A little bit of that turquoise blue for a highlight. I'm working on the brand. If you want to know my hex codes, I'll let you know. And you can build stuff for me too. Uh, anyway, we're talking about Lindbergh. And oh, here's the thing. Here's the next part about it, which I think is the great thing that struck me. It just actually struck me this morning, and I'm like, all right, I got to talk about this a little bit as I was looking at it. First of all, did you know that it was 1927, 99 years ago, 33 and a half hours Lindbergh was up there. 5 years later, on the very same day, did you know this? I didn't know it till today. Maybe it's common knowledge. It was not common knowledge to Uncle Matty here. Uncle Matty? I don't like it. To me, 5 years later, on the exact same day, Amelia Earhart did it. Across the Atlantic solo, different route, slightly different route, but at that time, and she did it in like about 16 hours. So Lindbergh in 27, 33 and a half hours, Earhart 17 hours. That's nearly almost spot on a 50% improvement in 5 years in time, if time is the measure. Route was a little different. Sure, there's some nuance. We could fight about that and talk about it all day. But the point is 5 years later, in 5 years after, 32, which also surprised me because it's like the height of the Depression, and Amelia Earhart's flying across the ocean. Maybe giving Americans hope, I guess. Maybe it was the point, but I don't know. 5 years, 50% improvement. Okay, unbelievable. Fast forward, jet travel arrives, technology advances today, 7 to 8 hours. So in the past 80 years, 90 years, we've improved 50%. So the first 5 took 50%, and the next 90 took 50%. Actually, it didn't take that long. Maybe the next 50, because we've been traveling at the same rate. Boeing 747 or whatever, that jet line travel, until the Concorde came and split that in half. But the point is that's how progress happens. First leap, really fast, and then hung in there for a little while, and it took longer and longer and longer. Because progress doesn't usually keep improving at that same dramatic pace, right? We get early gains and we feel great about things, and then improvement becomes harder. It's incremental and messier. In the middle gets longer. That's true in life. The beginning phase sometimes feels exciting. You're improving quickly. Wow, stuff's happening. It's amazing. Then comes that uncomfortable part, the plateau, the refinement, the long middle where progress slows down, but the work still matters. Maybe that's exactly why persistence matters so much, because meaningful growth isn't only about fast improvement. Sometimes it's about staying in process long enough to earn the slower gains, to keep flying and show that the middle counts. That's part 2 of the Lindbergh Earhart story. And since we're already there, and I'm dying to talk about it now, we're going to jump into clue 3, which obviously gives the clue away, even though Jess and our first in, Kathleen the Donkey, thank you so much for coming, paying attention. I know you've set the bar, Kathleen. Now I got to keep raising. I thought Mr. T was going to be a tough clue. Good Lord. Okay. I pity the fool. Pity the fool. I can't do it. Who doesn't know who this is? It's Mr. T. 1952, I think they said. I should remember. But he's in his 70s now. Yep, yep, yep. Definitely a character from Gen X that beyond, the beyond the, what was I going to say? Anyway, my brain just went blank. Mr. T, a Gen X character who absolutely is undeniably recognizable. So yeah, I got excited when you said I pity the fool, right? Definitely. Yeah, he is a boomer. He's a boomer, but for us in Gen X, I appreciate that he is a boomer. For us in Gen X, he's still an icon. He's a Gen X icon because I don't know. How does that work? He's an icon to us who are in Gen X, even though he was a boomer, right? Just like Jimmy Stewart was part of the Greatest Generation or whatever that was, but he was a idol to many. So I don't know. Is it based on who the person is or who the generation is that likes that person? Because I'm not sure if you ask boomers whether they liked Mr. T, there would be a whole lot. I think that's more of a Gen X thing because of when he came on the scene. Anyway, good question, Kathleen. I appreciate the dialogue and the thinking up behind it, and your early guessing. Anyway, what I really wanted to talk about Mr. T, no, I didn't. Was his performance in Rocky 3. I know people are like, what? Yeah, I mean, he was Clubber Lang, but he was V.A. Baracus and A-Team, and we knew him from the Saturday morning cartoons. He had a Saturday morning cartoon, absolutely, and definitely an icon. But that first scene when he meets up with Rocky in public and he starts talking about Adrian, he's like, why don't you come up with a real man, the real man. Love it. Love it. Great, great scene. He was jacked in that movie too. Those two duking it out in Rocky 3. Entertaining. Yeah, exactly, Jess. The entertainers we watched, most of them were, right? And then somewhere along the way, that scale tips and you become the generation that you're watching. And then now I'm watching from, it's crazy, right? As I watch, and who did I see the other day? I'm like, holy crap, he's old. Wait, I'm that old. But anyway, it's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of the growing up, absolutely. And Mr. T at 72, still out, 72, 73, something like that, still out there doing his Mr. T-ness. Pity the fool. Won't you come with a real man? Real man. All right. This has been fun today. Mr. T, Kathleen, Sully, Shivansh, our new friend, coming in with the challenging questions about Elon Musk and where the world's going to be in 50 years. And of course, Holroyd, appreciate the OG, and Shel Raphael Whitaker. It starts with joy, my good friend. All right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Jess, did I mention you? I always mention Jess. Appreciate you guys. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. Anyway, I pity the fool who doesn't get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, and Friends and doesn't keep watching our shows. Get involved in the comments, in the community. That's what we're building right here, watching it live. And as always, I want to give you your kindness company. All right, let's bring it on home. Number one, don't forget that the middle. The middle counts. Not every meaningful season looks impressive while you're living it. Just keep living it. Number two, silence is part of the music. The pause, the rest, the spaces. Those aren't your failures. They're just part of the composition. Number three, progress rarely feels cinematic. Most growth is just ordinary while it's happening. It's just plodding along. over time. What's most important, though, is number 4, you keep moving through uncertainty. Uncertainty is certainly going to creep up as that improvement scale starts to dwindle. You don't need complete clarity to take the next step. You don't need to feel like every single step is going to be a huge leap. And last is trust. Always trust the space between, because something important may be happening even when the milestone isn't visible yet. That's our kindness compass, our 5 actions, ideas connected to what we're doing today. And I just appreciate that peaked and then came right back down, didn't it? That's the fade feature in our studio. I don't know. I don't love it. Anyway, I hope everyone has been enjoying our Thursday, our relaxing Thursday, getting up and getting going, though. I appreciate, Sully, your comments. Try to make it appealing, and I've been trying to get consistent with my thumbnail making. That's part of the process. When you go live, it's part of the process of evolving over time. You've seen my studio change, particularly on the horizontal. The vertical pretty much has stayed the same for a while now. But it's just part of the deal. It's the progress over perfection that I talk about, that we talk about, right? It just is step by step by step. And remembering that. Sometimes it's hard to remember that. I feel it's hard to remember it for me sometimes, in terms of the progress is happening, particularly when it's not happening what I want it to be fast enough. It isn't nearly fast enough for you. You know that song? That's not really what the theme is here, but I think we all maybe have that. I know a lot of people who have that problem with patience, definitely, and that's when the perseverance gets tough, and the discipline that Mr. T talks about gets tough. So that's where we're at. We're in one of those spaces, the spaces between, while we continue to build here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, on Kindness Rising, with all of our friends in the chat. Definitely get on over to Mornings and Live with Keith, John, and Friends. And don't forget, we talked about SCORE too. SCORE is that organization that's out there helping not even young, just entrepreneurs, small businesses who are trying to grow. Absolutely. All right. Well, enough chitter chatter. We're gonna wind it down. You know what I got to do? I got to come up with a closing theme. Let's try one. Let's try a closing theme. I have a couple of songs in here. This is one we used to listen to together. Maybe. All right. This is it. Maybe one of the most hopeful truths about life is this: not every season needs to be the chorus. Sometimes the verse matters, sometimes the bridge matters, and sometimes the silence matters, because music doesn't live only in the loud parts, and life doesn't only live in the milestone moments. It lives in the ordinary Thursdays, the rebuilding chapters, the waiting rooms, the long flights before the landing. It doesn't mean nothing's happening. It just might mean that everything important is actually happening. Keep going, keep building, keep showing up, and don't forget, sometimes the middle matters more than we realize. I appreciate everyone who shows up here every weekday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. We are a growing community of people who care about each other and want to get up and get after it, and get on over to Mornings in the Lab with Keith, John, Friends. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Get up with a little bit of hope, humanity. High fives for humanity. Absolutely. Until then, I hope each and every single one of you stays uncommon and stays kind.